I'm checking. No way. There was already a When? No. Hey there, and welcome back to Fit of Madness, where this time we will be getting, we will beat Night 5. I just gotta be careful with the virus. It's that simple. It's really not that complicated, honestly. In before, this is like the last night, and then I end up attaching it to the second video they were watching, so I actually don't have an intro, and then essentially don't have a video for tomorrow. It's happened before. It's happened before. Now, if I remember correctly, my plan was mainly just stay on camera 4 here, not really doing anything but just paying attention for viruses, adjusting between madness and camera stability on and off. Also, I'm recording this before I even edited the second part, so I have no idea if those jump scares with the endoskeleton have been because of the virus. I'm still guessing it is, though. But in case it's not, I guess we'll find out one way or another. Now, if this is actually going to end up being the last night, the question is going to be whether we actually get a good ending or not. Because, honestly, I wouldn't say I'm hopeful given our circumstances right here. Even if we did survive this night, we still have the fact that Richard is kind of skulking around, most likely. I mean, he's already injected us once with his, whatever the hell he injected us with. What's to say he's not going to just do it again? Or maybe this time we'll actually earn his favor and get away scot-free. After all, I still haven't tried to run away, Apparently he admires that. I'm hiding. I almost forgot he doesn't scream here. He just has this like... I have to wait longer. I forgot he doesn't make any sounds or visual cues when you're hiding. You have to do a good solid count to 5, pretty much. Oh, he's in the thing. Come on. Oh, why is the lever not working now? Okay, this is kind of annoying. Please let me pull the lever now. Should not be that difficult. Okay, I get it. I'm going crazy. Alright, so he's already there. Come on, why is it doing this now? That's the one thing I will say that's like been frustrating so far. Trying to pull the lever for some reason is unnecessarily not even complicated, but it's like it doesn't. It's very irresponsive sometimes, unresponsive. I'm literally trying to drag it or click it and nothing happens, and there's nothing more frustrating than something like that. Alright, please just pull the lever. Like I don't know what exactly because it's so weird. Sometimes I drag down to try and get it to, flip the switch. It doesn't work. Sometimes I click and it flips the switch. So it drives me nuts a little bit. So I didn't even notice the ping. Relax. I didn't notice the ping. That is not what I meant to do, but screw it, I guess. See, like, what exactly do you click here? Alright, hopefully Tim just hurries up here so I can hide and recover my sanity. Or maybe I should just go now. Screw it. I don't really want to risk getting it too high up. It might get a bit too annoying for my liking. Oh, he left already. That's so nerve-wracking. I hate it when that happens. So it looks like the way... So it looks like if you're hiding when he visits the room, he leaves immediately. Is what it looks like. So I don't even have to like worry about... Because like the one thing I was worried about is like, if he doesn't know audio cue or sound cue, or visual or sound cue, please do something. Lever. If I... Oh my god. If the... You know, if nothing is... If there's no visual or audio cue, I swear to god. Oh. We got to the end? Oh, we did. I was gonna say, if there's no visual or audio cue, what happens if they technically visit my office and they're waiting a little bit and I leave at that time, but I don't know because there's no visual or audio cue. But no, they just skip your office entirely, it seems. Oh, okay. Oh, it's a parts and service room. The creepy little endo just chained up there. Richard. I'm guessing. They look a lot like Richard.
When this will be done?
Justice will be done. Who's in the chair?
Alright, listen. How are you doing?
Richard, maybe it's time you stop lying to me.
Lie about what?
About everything. Why do all our competitors keep vanishing right next to us? People keep asking me, out of all the companies what used to operate here, why are we the only ones left? Why did everyone else disappear so suddenly? Or go bankrupt? As the reps conventionally claim. Look, Richard, I've had enough. Just tell me the truth already. It feels like you're deliberately leaving things out.
Calm down, Mason.
Mason?
Where's all this worry coming from? Lots of things happen in life. It's all just a matter of time. I'm telling you clearly, I'm not doing anything.
That's it. I can't take this anymore. Is it why we keep cycling through night guards? Are our working conditions really what terrible? No. This is all your fault, Richard. I know you did something to them. And I'm going to tell everyone.
Well,
just wait.
Don't turn your back. Oh, he's dead. Oh, yeah, there's a smile.
What the hell?
He was... Why
was
didn't
the
you just...
door open?
Why don't you take the other door?
Richard!
There you go. I'm surprised he didn't just take the door that Richard came in through. Oh. Okay. Well, he's butchering him. So... I'll just let him go on, actually. You know what? I'm not even trying to interrupt. Jesus, Richard. Okay. Did you have to go that hard on them? I mean, really? Yeah. Jesus.
No, Mason. It's your fault.
So we're not Mason, right? Oh no, we're Max. They said so in the phone call. That's right. Mason was mentioned, I think, in the second post-shift introduction, post-shift section. Oh my God, there's a night 6. Oh, there's a night 6. Oh, I should have known. Should have known. So, a quick recap, I guess. Why in that part did they have no subtitles? God damn it. I mean, like, for the most part, like, there were just some words I couldn't make out, but for the most part, Mason was starting to question why Chicken Tim's was the only restaurant that was able to survive while all the others had gone away, right? And then started talking about what was going on with the night guards. Why did they keep going through so many of them? Was it really due to terrible working conditions? Mason didn't believe so. He said so as much. He said, Richard, it's all your fault, and he was going to expose Richard to everyone, which is why he died. Now it makes me wonder whether this whole idea, like, again, the second post-shift section where, I don't know, Richard had this, like, monologue, and I wondered if what it was referring to. He said he was, like, on the cusp of something, and then what was up with the night shift? Like, if it doesn't feel like, I mean, even if you take what Mason said, right, about him trying to, maybe he was sabotaging the other restaurants to have this one be the only one left. But then what's up with the night guard situation? Why is this place bleeding night guards exactly? I guess that's the one thing I can't quite figure out still. Maybe night 6 will yield some light on that one, but that means we're back to another night of this. God damn it. I was hoping night 5 was the last one. I was so sure we were done. But it should be fine. As long as we stick to the same plan, we should be fine. Assuming nothing else happens. The endoskeleton's still there. I mean, nothing's changed here, right? Doesn't look like it. Already. Okay, madness increases a lot faster now. Also, it seems like, I think I know why I kept dying to the virus. I think the virus maybe kept popping up while I was dealing with Chick. Because I didn't notice a sound, you know, last time. I only happened to actually take a look on camera and be like, oh, wait a minute, I see the actual virus there. So I think that might be the reason why I kept getting caught. I didn't notice, I wasn't really looking for that visual cue because I didn't think I needed it. I thought, you know, we were all good, no sound cue happened, but I don't think you hear the virus pop up when you're in the other room. Or in either room, to be exact. So I think in general you want to always check the cameras as soon as possible. Now that we know about, actually I'm curious, hold on. Experimentation time. You can complete the virus while in the locker. I think I tested that already, but I wanted to check just to make sure. Also, it seems like it would be to our benefit to hide. I mean, like, it'd be great if we could just hide in the locker and wait for Chick. The problem is that, I mean, I could stay here and listen for Chick. There is a sound cue there. It's subtle though. And the problem is that it's not foolproof because, again, I have no way of knowing when Tim arrives if he just skips the room. Like that. Like that. Let's wait a little bit. Okay. Really? You're gonna stay that much? Okay. I feel like I gave it a good amount of time too. That's the only thing that can be kind of tricky. Is like, you have to it is all on you there to count and decide when it should be safe. Also, I guess in other news, I guess while we're going through here, because there's been like, I didn't even bring any of this up when the 12th anniversary was going on for FNAF, but I think, if I remember correctly, there's teasers for Security Breach 2 with like a new Vanny design, or at least that's what people are speculating. And I think there was also teasers I saw people mentioning like FNAF World 2 as well. So I'm curious to see where all that's gonna go, honestly. I mean, if that ever does end up happening, relax. If that ever does end up happening, that'd be really cool. Especially Security Breach 2 wise for me personally. I never really got into FNAF World, but given how Security Breach Ruin was handled, which I think was done much better compared to the original Security Breach, and the fact that what's it called? The fact that Secret of the Mimic was also done so well, I have, you know, I'm more optimistic about how a Security Breach 2 would turn out if that ends up happening. But again, time will tell for sure. It's just one of those things where you don't really want to assume will be great off the bat. I mean, if a Security Breach 2 ever does happen though, which I assume would take place after the events of Ruin, right? I would, you know, I mean, it has to be, right? Because how else would a Security Breach 2 even happen exactly? I mean, I guess again, only time will tell. But if it ever does happen, I'll definitely be, I'll be excited for that. I really like Secret of the Mimic personally, even though I get story-wise, you know, it is what it is to some extent. Like, it's just I can't really keep up with it as well. But I don't know. I think there's always the potential there, right? Especially because, again, in general, I probably prefer free roam horror games overall. They just tend to be a lot, you know, chase scenes and all that. Oh, again, it depends if it's done really well. So, one thing I definitely don't want to test out is what happens if you let the what's it called? If you let stability drop all the way down. I definitely don't want to try that out. And that's something I want to experiment with, frankly. There we go. Oh my god, okay, so Tim already visited, good. We are finessing Tim right now. It's just easier that way. That way I can remove the uncertainty of, is it safe to leave? I mean, again, if you just wait an extra, sure, but it's like, it's easier when you take control there and it's just like, you know what? Okay, well, not that, but you know, it's easier when, wait, no, remember the rule. Check the camera first in case a virus is lingering. No virus lingering. Can't take that risk. I've already died too many times to that bloody virus. Oh, that was like elite timing right there. Perfect. Get rid of that. Fix the stability. Fix it. There we go. Alright, let's do a quick check on where they're at. Camera 6, I'm guessing. You were probably camera 3? Nope. Camera 2. That's actually not... Oh! Okay, hide. There we go. Let's just stay in here now. Until the virus, you know, pops up again. Or just give me 6 AM now. Honestly, because we've done a few rotations already. I'm checking. No way. There was already a when? No. The plan was going so well. God damn it. I thought, when the hell when did a virus pop up? There is one thing I will say though about this gameplay loop. It doesn't hold up well in repetition. In terms of like, because there's a lot of like waiting you have to kind of do basically. And like, you know, a lot of times it's really me managing stability and madness. It can drag on if you end up doing this for extended periods of time. I can't believe the virus. I don't know how the virus escaped me. I even checked. Unless, no, that doesn't make sense though, because if the virus got me after I left the stability room, it wouldn't have let me go on camera. So the virus popped up while I was in the locker, which sucks. Can't believe I let that happen. But the strategy's too good to leave it. It's too good to leave it be. Well, I guess you finally found out he can in fact get you if you go there. Wow. I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner, honestly. But I got anxious over the stability. Because I don't know if the stability is another mechanic that could get me killed. Hell, for all I know, that's what got me killed. Honestly, I didn't even think about that. I didn't consider the possibility that the the stability of the camera also gets me killed by the endoskeleton. That's the tricky part, again, about this kind of strategy. You have to also take into consideration when you hide that you can last a while without needing to update your stability, because again, if they're outside and you're about to hide, you need to make sure stability's good so I don't have to, you know, go out there with him. Alright, so Tim's right at camera 6. It'll soon be time to... Actually, I'm gonna refresh it now, honestly. I hate that. I don't know why. Please refresh this. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. Stop trying to do all the multi-jump scare. Just wait. Okay, perfect timing because he just left. Now we wait until the virus pops up, or... Oh yeah, until the virus pops up, or I think it's time to do the camera again. Hopefully Tim will be gone by then. Pull it down. Fix it while doing this. Oh, you can fix it while in the storage room, thank goodness. That maneuver, honestly, really... I was worried about doing that. Okay, good. We can stay here. I did the stability. I didn't hear the virus. Oh, maybe I should check, though. Oh my god. Thank goodness I checked. Oh. That would have made me so upset. That would have made me incredibly upset. I'd even check to see if Tim was still out there, but that's doesn't matter. We gotta check. Alright, is Tim out there? Oh, it doesn't matter. We did it. Please tell me we can. Oh god, run. Do something, anything. Please. Yeah, very good. Do some little stealth here and there, you know. Oh, we weaved the shit out of chicken there. Oh, I'm gonna get killed by the bloody chicken, man, Richard. Okay, we made it out. Oh my god. Okay, 6 a.m. I'm surprised we made it out, but that point of view makes me feel like... Oh, what'd I say? I knew it was too good to be true. Wait, what? Yeah, screw you. They were making such a big mess trying to find me. They set the place on fire. I mean, I guess we took the ship down with us, I guess. I mean, I had a feeling. What'd I say? There was no... I found no way in which we were actually making out of that. Oh my god, it's a miracle, but something actually happened. I'm so glad I didn't close the game. I was like, you know what? Let me give it a minute. Because I really don't want to close the game. Oh my god, that game scared the hell out of me there. I was about to say, if I have to go through Night 6 again. I have no clue what that static was. Oh, thank you for playing our first game. Oh my god, that was the credits. Made by two people, Zerpox and Kirill Urkovich. Oh my god. That was close. That was close. I really thought I was gonna have to do that all over again. Okay. Overall, great game. I think my main criticism obviously is the main part with the like the bloody lever. You know, sometimes the lever is just annoying to pull on. And subtitling, I feel in general, if especially when you have voice actors that you know, have a heavy accent, right, like they have here, I think subtitles go a long way. And in general, even without heavy accents, I always prefer subtitles with phone calls or whatnot, especially when phone calls are happening during gameplay, because obviously we don't really want, I prefer that the phone calls don't get drowned out by the game, because it's kind of, I think I mentioned this before, it's like, you know, one part of the game, the phone calls is clashing with another part of the game, and it doesn't make for a good experience when you're trying to tell whatever you're trying to tell with a phone call, basically, right? If you're trying to like communicate something story-wise in the phone call, and then you have Tim doing his little dance, right? Dun 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 dun, whatever the hell, right? You know, just again, it clashes. So subtitles would be great, especially just in general. Besides that, I don't really have much else in terms of like constructive criticism. Honestly, this was great. Definitely a slower gameplay loop, obviously, right? Because it's like the way they have it is like at first it is much slower in the very beginning because you don't have anything to manage, right? You're really just dealing with Chick and Tim and the virus, right? Richard.exe. And besides that, right, obviously as we go through the game, you know, I like how the night starts devolving, right? You know, as it's like, you know, as we devolve into madness almost on, you know, partially because of Richard, it seems like. I think they induced that within us. And I really liked overall the visual style. Honestly, like you have this very grainy style, which I don't even know how this is gonna look like on YouTube, because honestly, the amount of like graininess, the compression might not like it, honestly. But regardless, really great game. Honestly, for the first game, I'm honestly pleasantly surprised. I wasn't sure what I was getting myself into with this. You know, that mini game where you're analyzing evidence, of course, is creepy as all hell. I do feel like the fact that he was wearing that chicken mask is a bit weird in the sense that they only cared about wearing a mask when they were trying to kill us in our home, but then you saw how Richard just flat out stabbed us with no mask or anything. You know, it's like the mask, especially because the mask is I think the banner for the game. I feel like, you know, that part is like it's oddly like randomly in there, I guess, but you know, that it is what it is there. Obviously, from a gameplay loop standpoint, it is a slower game, right? As I mentioned, it's probably like, I would say the weak part is replayability, which I mean, again, like when I say replayability, I mean when you die and have to redo the night, it kind of stings a bit more than other games because, or faster paced games, I should say, because obviously when a game is fast paced, like, you know, yeah, you have to redo the night, but in a sense, you don't really feel it when it's fast paced. You don't feel it to the same degree, at least in my experience. Games that have a very fast gameplay loop are very easy to restart in terms of like, okay, let's do night 5 again, we have to get back into it, right? Because, you know, you're like constantly busy. But in this game, it's a lot more, you know, slower paced, and so when you die to the virus, or, you know, you try to reset the stability only to get caught by Tim, you know, it kind of stings a bit more because like, oh my god, I have to do even more waiting and whatnot. I would say, like, again, like, that's just the consequence of the game's overall design. I'm not saying that it has to be faster necessarily, but like I said, that's kind of like the drawback of having this more deliberate, slow-paced gameplay loop. Now, as for story, the story is not actually wrapped up here because they are, in fact, working on a prequel to this game. I believe it's called Fit of Madness: The Guest, which I'm going to be definitely keeping an eye on, especially how much I enjoyed this one. I guess, you know, obviously there's still a lot here that's left kind of unclear, right? Because we know, at least based on the dialogue we had from Mason, he implied about how all of the other, you know, the competition, all the other family restaurants just packed up and left. And he's like, you know, one is like, why? Why is that happen? I think it's your fault, Richard. Now, with what basis does Mason have for this? It doesn't really say. I mean, to be honest, even if that was happening, I don't know what he knows about Richard that would, you know, lead to that kind of conclusion. But Richard didn't really, do much to really dissuade that idea, I guess. But, you know, given what we've seen him do, it's likely that he sabotaged the competition so that Chicken Tim can be the one and only standing in this part of town anyway. Now, even with that, you know, cleared up, right, it's still kind of weird. Like, for example, like, the main thing's weird is like, okay, what in the world's going on with the night guards? Why? We know why they died, right? If they all died working at Chicken Tim's, it's because Richard disposed of them, you know, deciding that they weren't worth working here for some weird reason, right? For example, he got rid of Barry, and he told us as much, saying that, you know, he wasn't the first, right? And he talked about how Barry wasn't worthy, essentially, of working the night guard spot here, but we were, because we listened, we didn't run away. And so it made me think, like, what was the end goal there exactly? Especially considering how on night 3, I don't know if he had anything to do with us passing out, right? But that part, you know, that part was obviously strange. And he calls and says, did you think it was gonna be that easy? You know, like, what was his end goal there? Because then you go all the way up to night 5, you know, the night gets harder and harder, especially after, what, night 4, I think? After night 4, he, you know, sticks us with that needle, and then, you know, the night devolves even more. That, like, again, it leads me to think that he drugged us after night 2 as well, which is why we see the first change in night 3 with the animatronic designs. But again, it obviously still leaves us wondering, what exactly is he doing here, right? Which maybe the prequel is going to tackle. Then, of course, we have that segment where, if he is the Chicken Man, which I'm very much sure he is, why was he trying to kill us for analyzing evidence? Also, why did we have evidence? I guess that's the other part, right? That makes it seem as though we're maybe undercover investigating Chicken Tim's, right? That's the only thing that would lead me to believe, you know, that's the only reason, that's the only justification for having that kind of evidence, you know, blood splatter, right? You're talking about blood splatter. They talk about the missing people and the silhouette sighting. So it makes me think that we have to be undercover at some point. Now, does the game page allude to this? No. Obviously, the game page talks about how we're desperate and looking for any job and we're gonna regret it. But I have to imagine that that's our cover in this case. At least, you know, if we're gonna have that kind of evidence. He then tries to kill us, but doesn't try so after that. Instead, he decides to let the restaurant try and do his dirty work, which failed. And then, I guess the final part was his monologue about, you know, he mentioned permanence, and he kind of like talked as though he is like working up to some lofty goal that no one would understand. That's the gist that I got from it. And we don't know what that is. But hopefully the prequel will tackle a bit more into Richard's origins, maybe get us some understanding of why the hell 6 other night guards died here. But that essentially wraps up my thoughts on Fit of Madness. No extras, no custom night. That was the definitive ending. Mason, I'm guessing, by the way, last tidbit, was a co-owner maybe of sorts. It's not really clear if he dies before we showed up here or after. Maybe that was the death that got us to be here in the first place. A lot of speculation going around. But of course, with all that said, I hope you did enjoy. If you did, leave a like, hit that notification bell to keep up to date on future videos. The game will be in the description below as always. And with that said, I'll see you in another video. Take care.